Yo, playing some of that Rise, Son of Rome. Review of the game coming soon when I'm done beating it. I'll talk about it later. But we're just going to have a little gameplay while we talk about this article from Forbes magazine. The title of this article is Resolution Doesn't Matter. Oh, Xbox One versus PS4. Why resolution doesn't matter. Alright, it says call it what you want. Resolution Gate, a great console war of 2013, 2014, bloody nonsense. Whatever you want to call it. I've decided the entire fiasco is over. The disparate resolution and cross-game platform. Xbox One, PS4 is pretty much an entirely unimportant. While it makes sense to want 1080p games now that we're in next generation, I agree with that. Video game console resolution alone isn't big of a big deal. I came across this conclusion not while playing games on the Xbox One or PS4, but while playing some older PC titles. Many older titles launched years ago, back when everybody was using the CTR monitors, have option for 19 by 20x 1080p resolution. I've yet to find one that looks better than a modern day game playing at 720 or 1280 times 2020 or 720p. Resolution, it turns out, is just one of the small factors among many when it comes to the final visuals quality of the game. On a PC, it matters a bit more. People are you're a couple of feet from the screen. Yes, on the HD TV sitting across the living room, resolution isn't as crucial. Yes, pixels are dead, spread out more, and native 1080p looks better than upscale 1080p. It's not going to make that much of a difference unless you're doing a side-by-side comparison. Texture qualities, anti-aliasing are all more important in the field of all the title's details. Shadows and lightings come forth in a game contrast. Edges are smooth and frame rates. Here too, PS4 has an advantage over the Xbox One. There's no running from the fact that PS4 has more graphical oomph than the Xbox One, plain and simple. True, we all knew that from day one though. But will it really matter in the long run? I think it might. As I've said previously, many gamers will neither know or care about the resolution on each system. Many will not even be able to tell the difference unless many will not tell the difference unless they have I don't even know what I just did there in the game, but back to the article. Many of them will never even know the difference unless they have both systems already. On the other hand, if the games continue to look significantly crisper on the PS4, Microsoft may face a messaging problem. Extreme take. Even if you are the average Joe and don't know about resolution lines on the game, is running the narrative that games are a lot better on the PS4 is quickly the sales numbers seem to back up them. When the next Madden or Call of Duty roll around, this kind of performance gap is only going to hurt Xbox One. Definitely true. Of course, Madden and Call of Duty are often better sellers on the platform, but I doubt this is going to change overnight. But it could be a problem with other cross-platform games like Assassin's Creed, Watch Dogs, and so forth. I think Call of Duty and Madden, those are games that are I think there's more competition. Well, now I think PlayStation probably has, well, it had in the past Madden Unlocked, but I think Xbox took that, whereas more people will do the tournaments and what have you on the Xbox. But I don't think the graphical advantage of the PS4 would change that. Not yet. Maybe in the future, but not yet. But anyways, back to the article. On the other hand, titles like Wolfenstein, The New Order have already been confirmed 1080p 60 frames per second, both PS4 and Xbox One. So, wait. Did he just say The New Order? The New Order is not a PS. That must be a different game. The New Order has already been confirmed 1080p 60 frames per second on both consoles. I didn't know that game was for the Xbox, so that was only a PS game. Anyways, being witness to closing up in the gap is renewed. I suspect that the gap will continue to go narrow, especially with cross-playing platform titles. While PS4 exclusives will continue to be the best-looking console, in the end, the resolution that sells the system is not consistent. Since Microsoft can only do so much but bring the graphics in line with the PS4, the company will need to double down on creating a must-have Xbox One IP. They're going to have to find something else to compete with because they can't do it with graphics because they don't have the power to do so. That makes sense. This is where I think Microsoft is actually doing many things right this generation and a wide variety of exclusives such as Final Fantasy World, building sandbox games, Project Start, action titles Sunset Overdrive, and weird time-stopping games like Quantum Break, and the horizon of all different titles that usually shooters we associate with Xbox brands such as Halo and Gears of War. I sometimes think that Microsoft should just put together JRPG studios and just to see if they can make a real to push into the Japanese market, if only for the thrill of the new challenge. Of course, Sony isn't standing idle by either, with plenty of room as compelling first-party games pipeline from infamous Second Son to The Order 1886 and the new Uncharted. This is the reason I don't care about resolution. I want the real fight to take place in the realm of content. To see the big three consoles duke it out, making the very best games possible, rather than simply engaging in pissing contests over pixels counts. The Wii U isn't as powerful as the Xbox One or the PS4, but the games on the system have been convincingly fantastic, and had to be honest, look terrific too. Really? Their games are actually running at 1080p though, or they have more games that are actually running at 1080p, 60 frames, than either of the Xbox One or the PS4 or the Xbox One. Look it up if you don't believe me. But if we, of course, their games don't take that much to process. Obviously, we know that, but they still have more legit 1080p games. But if we learn anything over the past few years, is good-looking games don't equate to actually good, fun-playing games. Well-designed games too. Often sleek exterior is making that rather hollow experience. Alright, so that's pretty much the rant. He's basically saying that, it's not necessary. I get what the article is saying. It does seem a little bit like it's some PR, Microsoft damage control nonsense. It does, but he admits that the Xbox One is not winning when it comes to graphics, and they're damn sure not winning when it comes to sales. My take is this: does 1080p matter on the system? It does not matter, but of course I do expect it, being that it's next gen. But it's not going to make or break me from buying a game or not buying a game or system. Obviously, I already bought the Xbox One. My thing is this though: certain games, I will say, like Metro 2525. That game came out like almost 2-3 years ago. I have it on PC. The game is dark and there's a lot of shadows. Yet every time I play, which I not a lot because I'm not really into the PC like that, I'm enamored by it. I'm amazed. Like I pause for a minute. Like, yeah, this is beautiful. I was playing Dead Space 3. I have that on PC on Origin. Again, when I put that game in there, I'm astonished at the way it looks. To me, it's like those games are single player games. I wouldn't never play them online, so it's not an issue. But when it comes to console, to me it doesn't matter. You look at a game like Killzone that is 1080p, but the game is ass. The game is all kinds of trash. So what difference does it make? You're gonna buy Killzone to play because it's pretty? Again, Killzone is definitely pretty. It's 1080p campaign. I think it's scaled down to 900p or 720p for multiplayer, but it's still a beautiful looking game. But the game sucks. I would rather have them focus on other things other than graphics. Again, 720p to me is cool. Upscale 1080p is cool. It's not a deal breaker for me. If I want to play games beautiful and graphics wise, I'll just go play on my PC. It's not that serious. I'll get all the multiplayer that are non-multiplayer on PC. That's just a simple solution. I'll stick to the console for Call of Duties and things like that, and multiplayer games. It's that simple. It's not an issue. Slow down.